Hello Eve Capsuleers, welcome to the beautiful world of marketing. I'm going to show you how to make money on the market. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to be in JITA 44 Caldera Navy Assembly Plant. The reason for this is because there's a large trade volume that'll let you start making ISK quickly. You start making ISK quickly, you can build up your ISK reserves high enough that you can really start get going. So, alright. One of the things you're going to want to have on your sidebar is your wallet. It shows you how much ISK you have. This is 1.1 billion ISK. You might be somewhere around 1 million ISK, and that's alright. So, looking at ammunition is a great way to build up your ISK simply because it doesn't require that much ISK to get started. And you can always scale up by volume as needed. So, and as you can see, 1 million missiles. This guy is definitely doing some major trading. Okay, the very first thing we need to do is make sure that your price is sorted. We want the highest price here because it's the high prices on the buy orders that are going to sell. Price is sorted here to show the low prices. Now, if you these buy orders will not always fulfill. If your minimum volume is really high, then the seller will have to sell at least the minimum volume to that order. Otherwise, it goes to the next order. So, if this one happens to say 5,000 ISK per heavy missile, you go, wow, that's fantastic. But then it says quantity 1 million, minimum volume 1 million. Alright, so you're going to have to get 1 million rockets, and you have to sell it. Okay, so what's 1 million times 5,000? Okay, so that's 5 billion. Alright. This player has to have 5 billion in his account. So you can see I don't even have that much in this one. Now this is on the test server. Okay, granted. So you're not going to see a lot of live action. But he's going to have 5 billion in that player's account that listed this particular buy order. If he doesn't, when you sell the million to that, what's going to happen is that that buy order will disappear. And nothing else happens. It just disappears. So it's kind of like a scam. So let's say you found something that was selling for 5,000 a piece, and you went all over the EVE universe, traveling far and wide to get it as many as you could to fill to that minimum order, that minimum volume. And then you find that it failed. That's a lot of your time wasted. So keep that in mind. People will put 5,000 for the price to try to push up all of these buy orders. People that are listing buy orders go, oh man, look at that, it's so high, and they'll try to increase their buy orders to get close to it or match it or something. And anyhow, it does have an effect of inflating the buy order prices because people don't ignore that. They don't realize that it's just a scam or a trick. Now, it's not the same with the sell orders. You actually do have to have the product in order to make the sell order, which is kind of interesting because in the markets, for instance, the commodities market, you do not actually have to have the commodity that you're selling in order to place a sell order. Not until the time comes for the market to close and all buy and sell orders to be fulfilled. So that's real life markets. Interestingly enough, real life markets on the buy order side requires that you have collateral put up. And if a buy order does actually go through, it's the broker that pays for it. Of course, the broker expects his money. So if you don't have that money in your account, he's going to expect you to either deliver that money in a very short amount of time, or he's going to take your collateral. So you put up your house, he's going to take that house. Buying on the margin in EVE is very different than in real life too. In buying on the margin in EVE, yeah, you only need a small amount of the ISK in order to place the buy order. But in the real world, all those buy orders on the margin, which is actually how this part happens, where you don't have the ISK, those require a large amount of collateral, and of course you can lose big if the buy order actually goes through and you don't have the stuff. So anyhow, real world trading versus EVE is a little different. Okay, so let's actually start making money. So I have here some Scourge missiles, and I have a price differential, 70 ISK and 73.98 ISK. Alright, so let's see. I want to place a buy order. is going to be for slightly larger than the highest buy order. And given the time it takes me to actually fill this in, I'm going to want to make it a little bit higher than 0.01 ISK over. So I'm going to put 70.68. Okay, and I might put 69 or 70.70 just to make sure it's going to be the highest one. I'm going to put the amount or the quantity in that fulfills the amount of ISK I want to put into this particular product. So I've got a set amount of ISK, 1 billion, and I say, alright, how much do I want tied up in Scourge? And it's going to be partly based on the price differential between these. And since it's extremely small, I'm not going to want to put a lot of ISK in here. I probably actually wouldn't do this, but this is to show you the effects of the broker's fees on your profit. So here we have 335.47%. I'm going to put it out for 3 months in station, so I don't have to travel everywhere to get my product and sell it. This is station trading, and traveling takes time, which slows down your profit and increases your work. Alright, so here's my buy order, 1,000, and I'm putting it up. And actually, with the time I waited here, I'd probably want to put like 7.1. Now, why don't I just put 73? I might actually make a profit, but let's just jump up 70 to 73. Okay, that decreases all my profit. Most of my profit's gone like that. But I think, oh, I win because I got a high buy order and everyone's going to be paying. I might end up actually losing money if it goes up to 73. So let's just take a look at what we have right here. Buy, and now let's calculate the calculate the profit that I'm going to make once this fills. I'm going to go the difference between my order and the next lowest. So I'm going to, if I were to sell it, it would be 73.94. So I'm going to type that in, 73.94 minus 70.71, which is the buy order I put in. It's just going to be a difference in costs. And I'm going to be making 3.23 ISK per missile. Alright, so I'm not going to try to figure out how much is total, whether it's 1,000 or 1,000,000, doesn't really matter, it's all about percent. So I'm going to divide it with respect to how much I put into it, which is 70.71, with respect to the amount of ISK that I have to spend. That's the important part. So let me go ahead and figure out the percent. Alright, so my percentage of profit is going to be 4.56%. It says 0.04 to get the percentage, just multiply times 100. So 4.56%. Okay, so half of my percent was already tied up in the buy order. I'll show it to you. Let's see, where did it show the percent? Let me just put in. Okay, so 0.47%, right? So let me take from my profit, this is the percentage of my profit, minus 0.47%. Okay, so I'm making 4%. Pretty good, right? But now I have to sell this product. So let's go ahead and sell it. See, in order to sell it, I'm going to actually have to buy some. So let's see, how do I buy it? Let's go ahead and buy this. And we'll buy 1,000. Okay, I'm buying it so we have something to sell. In reality, you do not want to buy from your lowest sellers only to turn around and sell it for cheaper, because then you're losing money. Anyhow, this is just for you to see. When I go to sell it, and I'm always going to do advanced because I don't want to sell to the lowest sell order. I want to do my own sell order. I'm going to sell it for, actually it was trying to sell to the highest buy order, which is me anyways. But I want to sell for more. I'm going to sell for 73.96. A couple ISK lower than the lowest one. Okay, so you can see 0.47% again, plus 1.2% in sales tax. So let's add those two together. 1.67%. Okay, let's look at our profit. Okay, minus 1.67%. Okay, I'm only going to make 2.42% of the ISK. So if I put down 100 million ISK, I'm only going to make 2.42 million ISK on that. It's not that much. 100 million ISK is tied up only to get 2.42 million on turnaround. So not an especially good deal, and you can see with the lower percentages, these percentages really do add up. They become substantial parts of the entire profit. I mean, if you add that all together, 1.2 plus 0.47 plus 0.47 is 2.41%. You don't want to trade anything that is that much or less, or you're just wasting your time. Now, there are things you can do to lower these percentages by trading skills. I'll let you figure that out on your own. And gotta let you do some work. That's part of this. Alright, so here I can go ahead and place my sell order, and you can see it immediately lists it here. Now when I look at my wallet, under my orders, it's going to show some of my orders here. It'll show I'm buying at 2 different rates. This one is obviously never going to sell, 40.04, because that is way down on the list. Everything that's green is a buy order that can be met by selling something in this station, but every one of these greens would have to be filled until I finally got to mine as the second to last one. So just keep that in mind. The low buy orders, you can put it in, I hope you get something super cheap, but it's not likely to happen with these many millions, 49 million of quantities of buy orders in. Okay, so there's EVE Trading 101. Let me help you figure out in this last part how to find a good trade. How to find something good to trade in or sell in. Alright. Let's see, I've got 64.8 and 30. Okay, you can already tell off the top of your, off the bat that that's over 100% profit. It might be worth doing something in Nova Missiles. Alright, so we found something that has a good price differential, low buy-in, so you can get in with however much ISK you have, and of course start multiplying it. So now let's figure out if it's going to be a good idea. So we check today's, let's see, is this date yet? No. We want the latest date. So we sort on date and we find, okay, what's the trading volume? 0 orders, 0 quantity. No trading volume. Okay, so since there hasn't been any trading volume in this particular thing, and I guarantee you on the live server there would have been, I don't want to go into it. You know, what good is it if I can purchase all the stuff, but nobody's buying? So I want to look into markets where people are buying. Now, actually people are buying, and this is just when the server did its last refresh at 5.6.3, so June 3rd. So this is all the data before, basically all the data was copied over from the live server up to there. So really I'm looking at this and I'll say, well, 5 million of these missiles were sold every day. 5 million, that's pretty quick. Divide it by the number of minutes in a day, and quite a few thousand of these missiles are probably turning around every minute. So it's not a bad thing to go into. So keep in mind quantity and your ability to actually sell the quantity that you're trying to turn around. If you want to buy 1 million of these things, just keep in mind you'll need to make sure the market can support trading 1 million of those things. You're not likely to get all those trading orders. You'll probably get a small percentage of them as other people outbid you. Someone else will see your bid at 30 ISK and they'll put 30.01 right above you. And maybe their buy order will be filled out and then go back to you again. Or maybe not, before someone else puts a buy order slightly higher than theirs. That's just the bidding wars. So get used to it. Don't get frustrated. If somebody outbids you by a lot, then outbid them by 1 ISK, 0.01 ISK. If they outbid you by a small amount, just keep outbidding them by 0.01 or 0.03, 0.05 ISK. Don't get frustrated and let all your profits go away to your own frustration. Okay, so that's trading. I did want to show you one other thing. When you have products that are damaged, so these were 7% damaged, and it shows you here. For some reason it doesn't actually show on the info page. You know, I almost expect to see 7% damage somewhere listed on here, but it doesn't. You can't sell unless it's packaged. So if you see a 6 right there, you know it's packaged. If you don't, You try to sell this, it says, oh, you have to repackage it. Please package it. So anyhow, you have to right click and find the thing that says repackage. Alright, so that's all I want to go over. Marketing 101. And buying and selling. Do more than just one product. Don't put all your ISK in one thing. Pick a few things just so that you can get stuff moving. If one day this market isn't very strong, it might be strong on another item. So think of different ammo to buy and sell. You might want to go into probes, projectile ammo, things that are consumed, bought and sold a lot. After a while, you might want to think about, let's see, implants and boosters don't move very quickly, so you can buy up a lot of stuff and have ISK just sitting in these products that you can't get rid of. So consider ship equipment, T1, T2, meta versions. Just think about equipment that people use. And if you go and buy equipment that people don't use that much, then you won't be able to sell it very easy. So ECM bursts, used a little bit. 184 a day. I mean, it's not that much. It's pretty light trading. So just consider what's used the most. Alright, so let's just wrap that up, and we'll get some more advanced instruction a little bit later on marketing.